G'day folks, and welcome to another scorching episode of Last Week Tonight. Today we're diving headfirst into the land down under Australia, a place renowned for its stunning beaches, adorable wildlife that can also kill you, and a housing market hotter than a shrimp on the barbie on Australia Day. Yes, folks, the Australian dream of owning a home is slipping further and further away for many. We're not just talking about Sydney or Melbourne, where the median house price could buy you a small island nation. Even smaller cities like Adelaide and Brisbane are seeing property prices skyrocket. The rental market? Forget about it. It's like trying to find a sober person at a Bunnings sausage sizzle on a Sunday morning, near impossible. This isn't just about numbers on a spreadsheet. This is about real people, hard-working Australians, being priced out of a basic human need, a place to live. Once upon a time, owning a home in Australia was a realistic goal for many. The dream of a quarter-acre block with a white picket fence was within reach. Fast forward to today, and that dream has morphed into a nightmare of high-rise apartments and dense urban living. Young adults are increasingly finding themselves stuck in their childhood bedrooms, unable to afford a place of their own. We spoke to several Australians who shared their personal stories of struggle and frustration with the current housing market. And what are the government and policymakers doing about this crisis? Not nearly enough, it seems. While there are new housing developments popping up, they're often out of reach for the average Australian. Communities are rallying together, demanding change and affordable housing solutions. Some are turning to innovative solutions like tiny homes and co-living spaces to combat the crisis. Despite the challenges, there is hope. With collective effort and innovative thinking, the dream of owning a home in Australia can still be revived. So let's keep the conversation going and push for a future where every Australian has a place to call home. Now, before you yell shrimp on the barbie at your telly, let's be clear, this housing crisis is a complex beast. It's not something that can be fixed with a quick patch or a simple solution. The roots of this issue run deep, intertwining with various aspects of our economy and society. It's not just about supply and demand, although those are definitely playing a starring role in this theatrical production of economic despair. The imbalance between the number of homes available and the number of people needing them is glaringly obvious, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's a perfect storm brewing here, folks. Wage growth is crawling along slower than a koala in a heat wave, making it increasingly difficult for people to save up for a deposit or even keep up with rising rents. This stagnation in wages is a critical factor that cannot be overlooked. Meanwhile, interest rates are doing their best impression of a kangaroo on a trampoline, bouncing up and down unpredictably. This volatility makes it hard for potential homeowners to plan their finances and for current homeowners to manage their mortgage repayments. Add in a sprinkle of good old-fashioned greed and a dash of government policies that would make a casino owner blush, and you've got yourself a recipe for disaster. Investors and developers are often more interested in their profit margins than in creating affordable housing solutions, and you've got yourself a recipe for disaster. The economic ramifications are vast, affecting not just the housing market but the broader economy as well. When people spend a significant portion of their income on housing, they have less to spend on other goods and services, stifling economic growth. This isn't just an economic issue, it's a social crisis. The lack of affordable housing is tearing at the social fabric of our communities, leading to increased stress and anxiety among those struggling to find a place to live. It's impacting everything from mental health to family formation to the very fabric of Australian society. Young people are delaying starting families because they can't afford a home, and the stress of housing insecurity is taking a toll on mental health across the board. We're talking about a generation locked out of home ownership, forced to navigate a rental market that's more Shark Tank than safe haven. The competition for rental properties is fierce, driving up prices and making it even harder for people to find stable, affordable housing. This crisis is reshaping the Australian dream, turning it into a nightmare for many. Now, some people, and by some people I mean those who think a tin-foil hat is a fashion statement, would have you believe that immigration is the root of all evil, including the housing crisis. They're taking our houses, they cry, while conveniently ignoring the fact that many immigrants are living in conditions that wouldn't pass muster in a cockroach motel. Look, immigration does play a role in housing demand. More people means a need for more houses. That's basic maths, folks. But to blame it solely on immigration is like blaming the Great Barrier Reef's bleaching on a rogue goldfish. It's a factor, sure, but it's not the bloody great white in the room. The real culprit? A chronic undersupply of housing, fueled by a system that prioritizes profits over people and incentivizes speculation over sensible development. Section 4, building our way out. Why isn't it happening? So why aren't we building more houses, you ask? It's a question that seems simple on the surface, but is actually quite complex. Well, that's a question that would stump a room full of rocket scientists and brain surgeons. The reasons are multifaceted and deeply rooted in various systemic issues. The short answer is it's complicated. The long answer, it's a labyrinth of challenges that include economic factors, political will, and social attitudes. It's a bureaucratic nightmare tangled up in red tape, sprinkled with NIMBYism and marinated in a healthy dose of short-sightedness. The layers of approval processes and regulations can be overwhelming. Australia seems to have an obsession with suburban sprawl. We keep pushing the boundaries of our cities further and further out. It's like we're allergic to density, terrified of living within spitting distance of our neighbours. This aversion to high-density living is a significant barrier. And don't even get me started on the planning regulations. They are often outdated and not designed to meet the current housing demands. Trying to get a development approved in Australia is like trying to herd cats. It's chaotic, unpredictable, and usually ends with you covered in scratches. The process is fraught with delays and opposition. We need to build more diverse and affordable housing options, folks. The current housing market is not meeting the needs of many Australians. Apartments, townhouses, granny flats, you name it, we need it. We need to embrace a variety of housing types to cater to different lifestyles and budgets. And we need it yesterday. The urgency cannot be overstated. The longer we delay, the more people will struggle to find suitable housing. Building more homes isn't just about numbers, it's about creating communities where people can thrive. It's about ensuring everyone has a place to call home. We need to rethink our approach to urban development, focusing on sustainable and inclusive growth. Mixed-use developments can offer a balanced solution. Integrating public transportation and green spaces into our urban planning can make high-density living more attractive and sustainable. Let's look at innovative housing solutions from around the world and adapt them to our context. We have the potential to create vibrant, livable cities. The time to act is now. Let's build our way out of this housing crisis and create a better future for all Australians. Section 5, tax breaks and broken dreams favouring investors over families. Now let's talk about taxes. Exciting, right? Well, it is when you realise that Australia's tax system is basically giving property investors a free ride on the gravy train, while first-time home buyers are stuck hitchhiking on the side of the road. Negative gearing, capital gains tax discounts. These policies are like steroids for the property market, artificially inflating prices and making it near impossible for average Australians to get a foot in the door. It's like the government is playing Monopoly with real people's lives, and they're handing out get-out-of-jail-free cards like confetti to investors. This isn't just unfair, it's economically unsustainable. We're creating a generation of renters, burdened by debt and unable to build wealth, while a select few are laughing all the way to the bank. Section 6, the productivity paradox, Australia's real estate obsession. Here's a fun fact. Australia's productivity growth has been about as impressive as a platypus trying to fly. We're lagging behind other developed nations, and our obsession with real estate is partly to blame. You see, folks, when all the money and energy is being poured into property speculation, other sectors of the economy suffer. Innovation, R&D, investing in the future? Nah, mate. Let's just chuck another shrimp on the barbie and watch our property portfolios grow. This short-sightedness is coming back to bite us, folks. Stagnant wages, limited job opportunities, and a widening gap between the haves and the have-nots. It's not a pretty picture. Section 7. Apathy is not an option towards a brighter future. So what's the solution to this mess? Well, if there was a simple answer, we wouldn't be here, would we? But here's the good news. It's not hopeless, not yet anyway. But it's going to require a collective effort, a national wake-up call, and a whole lot of political will. We need to build more affordable housing. We need to reform our tax system to level the playing field. We need to invest in innovation and create a more diverse and resilient economy. And most importantly, we need to stop accepting this broken system as the norm. This isn't just about houses, folks. It's about the kind of country we want Australia to be. A fair go for all, or a playground for the wealthy. The choice is ours. Let's make the right one.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.